What is going on, squad? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking all things World's Strongest Man and how I got on, how I performed. I've had a lot of questions on Instagram stuff saying like, did you perform as you expected? Did you overperform? You know, I know a lot of people weren't expecting me to do so well. So we're going to go through event by event and talk through how I got on. You can probably tell I'm not feeling my best. I'm still suffering from jet lag a little bit. I feel very congested and stuff like that, so do bear with me if my voice sounds a bit funny. So just to clarify, guys, in my group we had Bryce Johnson, Wes Dewinski, myself, Matt Ragg and Mitch Hooper, probably in that reverse order were how people expected the group to get on. I think most people had Mitch Hooper and Matt Ragg going through. So kicking off, we had a loading race. Now, those that know me know that this is a pretty good event for me. And so I was confident that I was going to get out to a good start. I knew that Mitch Hooper would be one of the guys to beat on this. So I got put out first with Mitch Hooper. No surprises there. And yeah, we had a really good race, guys. And this is the first time in my strongman career I felt heavy. Like, I noticed the extra weight we'd put on for Worlds. So my fitness wasn't like as good as it's been previously, but to be honest, like, it's a balancing act in this game. And so far I seem to have come in too fit. Like, I won the loading medley at Britain's by 9 seconds, and then failed the overhead. So in that balance, I was too fit and not strong enough. So in this time, we've just worked on brute power and strength and just given less attention to fitness. So it was good enough for second in my group. And I think I was 6th overall out of everyone that did it. So really not a bad performance. Like, I do know I could have gone faster as well. I've sort of fumbled the last pickup. So I wasn't like overly thrilled with my performance, but it was good enough for what I needed, and got me off to a great start in the group with 2 points. Moving into that, we had the deadlift for reps, and this one was pretty exciting. So everyone in the group had got 7 reps so far. I was out against Mitch, who I expected would do 10. Matt had underperformed. Matt did 7. I thought Matt Ragg would be capable of a lot more as well. So that to me told me that the deadlift was hard from the outset. I went out and I pulled 8 reps in total. I pulled 6 and then my strap started slipping. So I sort of grinded out a 7th. Took to my knees. I had no idea what Mitch had done next to me. I heard it banging up and down quite a lot, so I assumed he'd already won the event. And I was sort of panicking because I was like, I need to get 8 for second. Restrapped, and again it slipped again. So I don't know what was wrong with this bar. It was just a bit fatter and it was really smooth, and everyone was having strap issues. Like, that's why the numbers are a bit down. But got the 8th, absolutely threw everything into it. My nose exploded. There was a huge puddle of blood under me. I was sort of going in and out of consciousness. It was really like, because in the heat, bear in mind I had tights on, I had neoprene shorts, I had a deadlift suit, and then the comp t-shirt. So I was overheating. I just needed all that kit off. Dave Warner came and ripped everything off me, bless him, which was very, very welcome. So 8 reps, really, really happy with that considering the circumstances. Give me a barbell and normal plates, I think I could rip that for 10 easily. It just really was a tough setup. It was harder than the axle setup at Giants Live, like 100%. So I pulled the 8. I assumed Mitch had done 10, so I was like, I've taken another second place. It turned out Mitch only pulled 7. So I actually got the win in that event, which is amazing for me, being the first man to beat Mitch Hooper in a deadlift for reps event since the start of his career. So really, really proud of that one. I know a lot of people say like he wasn't in his best form, etc., but it's still a huge win for me. Like, showing up to the comp, beating Mitch Hooper in a deadlift for reps event is really, really cool. Next, we went into the overhead medley. My expectation for this was to get 1 point. I knew they're not the best pressers in the world in my group, but they are all very good pressers. I consider myself probably the weakest presser at World's Strongest Man this year. So I'd prepared myself to get 1 point and then to fight hard in the next 2. And guys, I just overperformed massively. The guys left the door open a little bit. So 2 guys got 5 in my group. I knew 5 reps would be possible. That was 2 reps of the dumbbell, 2 reps of the log, 1 rep of the circus barbell. We had to do 2 and then a rep on the axle as well. So I got 5 out of 7. Did it a second quicker than Wes, so a little bit of luck there, but I knew what he'd done and I was just pacing myself against him. And I think Matt Ragg only got the 4. So Managed to get 3 points out of 5 in a press medley, and it was at this point I started thinking, like, I was starting to believe that we could actually do this. So huge performance there. After day one, I was sitting in second, I think, behind Mitch by half a point. I can't remember, it was very close, but we'd sort of started pulling away there. So day two, I knew wasn't as good for me on paper. I was very anxious about the stone press in the stone medley, and throwing had been very hit and miss. It's usually quite a good event for me, but this format, and they made it harder, like at last minute, like I'd been struggling with in training a little bit, so I knew it wasn't like a banker. So I ended up coming fourth in the throwing, which I think is a bit of an underperformance for me. I missed 2 bags from the 10-meter line. I'm definitely capable of getting those. I was just wasn't the day. 6 is fine. It could have been worse. It could have been better, basically. But I'm not mad about it. It is what it is. I had Wes Dewinski and Mitch in my group, both world record throwers, and Matt put a freaking blind of a performance in. No one saw that coming. So Matt really overperformed in that as well, and really came back with a vengeance on day 2. So yeah, not what I wanted, but I'm not mad with the throw at all. And then the stone medley, I went out fourth in this because I was sitting in second. I had a 2.5 point buffer. Bryce Johnson went out and did the stone press and the shoulder. The next 2 guys zeroed both. So at this point, we were sort of aware that I think I've qualified already, but like I was getting ready to go, so I didn't want to take anything as granted. I knew that if I pressed that stone, I would 100% be in. So that's what we did. I've worked that block press so hard, and I've been pressing natural stones and all sorts because I knew that event was going to cost me. So I was beyond thrilled to get that stone press. I was literally celebrating. I know the points count overall, so I probably should have, just finished the event, because I definitely could have finished that event. I ended up doing the shoulder very easily. I carried the Hoosfell, wasn't too bad, and I just ran out of time for the final stone load. But I 100% could have finished that medley. I thought the stone load at the end was probably the easiest thing out of the lot. I was just having fun out there, guys. I realised I'd qualified for my first World's Strongest Man. As soon as I pressed that block, then I shouldered the thing very easy. So I was sort of not even showboating, but just having fun with it, because like it's moments like that you have to enjoy. And the goal for me was to qualify. I'm not a Rain O'Neill. I wasn't going in to win it in my rookie year. I just wanted to get to the final. So as soon as I'd done that, I was just over the moon. So in the overall standings, I came joint second in the deadlift for reps out of all the groups. I came 16th in the overhead medley. I came 15th in the throwing. So really, for me, I performed better in the press than the throwing in terms of expectation. And then, the stone medley, I came 8th overall. But definitely, I could have done more in that, really. I probably should have, but then moments like this, it's all about enjoying it and showing everyone why you're meant to be there. So I left the group stages with 5 points in 6th place, probably where I thought I would be anyway. So a nice little start for me going into the final. So the final events, we had the carry and hoist, we had the 18-inch deadlift, we had the Hercules hold, Flintstone barbell, and then the Atlas stones to finish. So just going to run through these real quick. So the carry and hoist, I came 4th. Perfect start to the final for me. I was winning with 3 people to go. So actually, I was winning with 5 people to go. So I was really happy with my time. I thought Tom would beat it. I thought Mitch might beat it. You never really count Mitch Hooper out on something like that. So I was thinking top 3, top 4 on that. And that's what it ended up being. Rain O'Neill beat my time by 6.5 seconds or something like that. And I genuinely don't understand how that's possible. I felt like it was a quick run. I didn't feel like it was unbeatable, but I was like pretty happy with it. And freaking 30 seconds dead on that is beyond impressive. So Raina, if you're watching this, I'm still in awe of you. 18-inch deadlift, we moved on. I'd pulled 1,000 in training, but this was on sort of a semi-whippy gym bar, not like a deadlift bar, but like it had a bit of flex in it. And this bar we were using was horrendous, guys. It was probably 32 mil, so it was really thick, really stiff. Again, the knurling wasn't that sharp on it, so it was just an awkward apparatus. And I was really hoping for 490, to be honest with you guys, but as soon as I saw that bar, my expectations sort of like were more aligned. Like, it's weird to me that they used a different setup with Alexei Novikov in 2022 or whenever it was, or 2020, I think, because you can see the bars different and got more whip, and there's mats in there that weren't in there and stuff like that. So it's a little bit hard to compare. That's why the numbers are down. Like, if Trey Mitchell was just unreal on this event, like, he looked like he had more in the tank, so it was really, really cool to watch. I ended up joint third with 465 with a lot of guys, and I think Reno was second on his own with 490, so overperformed there, really, to be honest. Like, that's what I expected. So I'd pulled 1,000 in training, so 465. Just having 465 in my hands, guys, is really, really cool. Like, my deadlift from the floor technically is still only 410. It's definitely more than that, but I've just not had a comp where there's been a max deadlift. So here's to hoping we get invited to the deadlift champs in Giants Live in Strongman Open, because I definitely want to see where my deadlift's at now and see how close I am to that mythical 1,000. So then to finish off day one, we had the Hercules hold. Obviously a good event for me. To be honest, I haven't trained this at all. I was just relying on my base level grip, which is down on what it has been. I didn't really spend that much time on it because I trained the heats events mainly, and then I trained events that I would need to know how to do if I made the final. So, like, I didn't want to go out and split jerk for the first time in the final of World's Strongest Man, and I didn't want to do 18-inch deadlifts with no prep. So those two I'd trained a bit. Hercules hold for me on the priority list was just way, way down. Like, so I'm not saying if I trained I would have won that event. I don't think I would have. Eddie Williams was unbelievable, and Reno was unreal as well. So those two guys were really, really clear. I finished up about 59.64, and it was just a really hard Hercules hold. I've only done Hercules hold once in like a smaller comp, so I'm yet to do the Giants Live one. I will be doing it at the Royal Albert Hall, so it'd be interesting to compare the two. So this one, it really like jolted you when they let go. So it like pulled out your hands immediately. And then, like, the whole time you could just feel it pulsing like this, and it just slowly works out your grip. But it was really interesting. I also picked it up like a moron. I had one hand like this, so I had both chains like that, and then as soon as they let go, they went like one supinated and one pronated. So it was my left hand that gave up, and it was fully 180 degrees. So again, I don't think it made much difference, to be honest. Like, it felt solid. I still did just under a minute. 59.64 is a bit annoying as well. Like, I'm just so close to the minute. It's like the shield carry all over again. I'm just that guy that just keeps getting under. But there you go. Solid performance for me. Happy to be third in the world at Hercules hold without really training it. So huge buzz for me. And then day two, I knew again probably wasn't going to be my day on paper. I think I was sitting fourth after day one. I was 1 point off Tom Stolman, obviously knowing that Tom has got amazing events on day two and he'd probably win both events. So Flintstone barbell, we were close. We just didn't quite get the opener. Eddie Williams was very kind and didn't get it either, so I didn't look a complete idiot, but it would have been a 9 kilo PB. I've done 180 a handful of times in the gym, but even from the warm-ups, guys, it just didn't feel good. I failed 160 in the warm-up. I got the 170, and then it just wasn't feeling right. I was panicking. I just wasn't comfortable with it. It's only been 3-4 weeks doing that, guys, so I never really expected to get it. I got close, but give that time and it feels super, super scalable. Like, I know I can hit 200 on that variation in time. Like, give me a good block training on it and it'll be fine, but it was just too rushed. And we smoked the press events in the heat, so you could tell where my training had been. Like, getting that block press was priority number one for me, and it paid off because that's what got us to the final. And then the Atlas stones, I put in a good time, 4 stones in 34. I just missed the last stone. I had it on the lip, tried to push it, and I was just completely exhausted, guys, to be honest. So, because normally there's like a platform, it's a bit easier to judge where the height is, but because you've got a big stone and it's only going on like a little plinth like that, I just had no idea where the platform is. It didn't feel like it was close, so I sort of just gave up on it. And I was just absolutely exhausted by that point and ready for the comp to be done. So that was like my one sort of, the only thing I look at and gone like, I could have done better is loading that stone. Like I really do wish I finished a stone run, just because only Tom and Trey did it, and they're probably the two best stone lifters in the world right now, and I think it really would have solidified my name up there as a really, really good stone lifter. So ended up coming 5th. I can't complain, guys. 32 points overall. I was sort of in my own sort of like placing, if that makes sense. So I was 5th. Andre was 6th, I think 6 points behind me, and then 4th was like 6 points ahead or so. So I was really just on my own, solidified that 5th place position, and I am absolutely buzzing, guys. To be honest, the whole Worlds experience was really, really good. I loved every minute. I didn't expect myself to come 5th, so I am just genuinely really, really proud of my performance and how we got on. So I am going to do a video as well on my thoughts of World's Strongest Man, like the good and the bad, but that will come out probably later in the week. But for now, thank you very much for watching. If you've made it this far, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And thank you all for the support. It really has been overwhelming, like the amount of messages. I've replied to most of them. I still have some. I'm doing my best. But I just know that I really, really appreciate every single message and every merch order. You're all legends. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Peace.